Hello everyone, you're welcome to this class. So in this class, we want to continue from where we stopped under quadratic equations. So today, we want to look at solving quadratic equation. And here, under this, in this video, we'll be looking at the methods and examples. So in solving quadratic equation, there are three methods of solving some quadratic equations. So we're looking at the three methods. There are three methods of solving quadratic equation. So the first one is what we call factorization method. Factorization method, right? We're looking at factorization method. So you have learned how to factorize algebraic expressions in the previous classes. So we're going to apply that factorization of algebraic expression to solve quadratic equations. Is that clear? So that is the first one. So the second method is completing the square method. Completing the square method. Completing the square method. The square method. Now, so there are some quadratic equations that cannot be solved using factorization method. So completing the square method will be what? Will be applicable to solve that, or the third one, which is by formula method. So this formula method is also referred to as almighty formula, right? Almighty formula. So which we are going to look at in detail. But for the purpose of this class, we are only limited to what? To this. We can't cover everything in the single video. So let's look at the factorization method of solving quadratic equations. I hope this is clear. So we're going to look at examples to solve that now. All right, so these are the examples. So we have more than this. Let's look at these first examples, three examples. So the first one we have here is this. So how do we solve this one? So we have x minus 6 into brackets x plus 3 equals to 0. So this is the simplest one here. So what this means is that x minus 6 equals to 0 or x plus 3 equals to 0. So from here now, we can have it to be x equals to 6 or x equals to what? Minus 3. So that is the answer. So x is equal to 6 or minus 3. So that is it. So that's how to solve this. All this is very clear. Now the next one, which is number 2, we have 2y minus 4, everything was squared, equal to 0. So what this implies is that, so this 2y minus 4 is multiplying itself. That's why we have square. So we can rewrite it to be 2y minus 4 multiplied by what? 2y minus 4 equals to 0. So we can then equate both of them to 0. So that is 2y minus 4 equal to 0 or 2y minus 4 equal to 0. So in this case, this will be 2y equals to 4 and what? 2y equals what? 4. So therefore, 2y divided by 2 equals to 4 divided by 2, and then 2y divided by 2 equals to 4 divided by 2. So 2 cancels to 2. Y equals to what? 2. Y equals what? 2. That is the value of y here is what? 2. Oh, this is very clear. Okay. So that is that on question number 2. For question number 3, so what we have in number 3 is p squared plus 7p plus 12 equals 0. So here you can see this one is quite different from the first one we just did. So what we're going to do is factorize this, the normal factorization method we know. So the only thing is that we are equating it to 0. So it's equal to that. Is difference between quadratic expressions and quadratic equation. Is that clear? So we're going to factorize this, then equals everything to 0. So we look for the product of two numbers that will give us 12, right? That will give us 12. So what are the two numbers that can give us 12? And at the same time, we can get 7. So we have 3 times 4 will give us 12. Then 3 plus 4 will give us what? 7. So in that case, we're going to have p squared plus 3 squared, 3p plus 4p plus 12 equal to 0. I hope that is very clear. So we've learned factorization before. So in this case, we have 4 terms here because these are 3 terms. So we have 3 terms here. We have made it 4 terms. So if you look at what we have here, this one is the same thing as this. And when you multiply 3p times 4p, you get what? 12p. Yeah, 12p squared. So that is how to do that. Then what you're going to do next is you factorize. So let's factorize this. So what is common to the first two is p into bracket p plus what? 3. Then plus what is common to this and this is 4 into bracket p plus what? 3. So 12 divided by 4 will give us 3. 4p divided by 4 will give us p equals what? 0. So that means we're going to have p plus 3, then into what? P plus 4, everything equals to 0. So you can see that this is now the form of the first example that we did. So that means we're saying that P plus 3 equals what? 0, or P plus 4 equals to 0. So in this case, P equals what? Minus 3, or P equals what? Minus 4. Therefore, P equals to minus 3 or minus 4. So you can see we have two answers. So these are the roots of the equation, quadratic equation. You know, solution to quadratic equation is give us what the roots of the equation. So let's look at another set of 3 examples before we call it. This example 4. So as you can see, you see that the form here is the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So in this case, the way we are going to solve is quite different from the last one we did. So what we're going to do here, we multiply this by this. Multiply 8b squared by what? 18b. So that is 18 multiplied by 8 is 64. That is 6, 8, that is what? 144. This will give us 144b squared. So now we're not going to look for two numbers that we multiply together that will give us 144. When we add them together, we get minus 24b. And that is what? Minus 12 times minus 12 will give us 144. That is minus 12b times minus 12b. And minus 12b, minus 12b minus plus minus 12b will give us what? Minus 24b, which gives us what we have at the middle here. So in that case, we are going to replace the mid minus 24b by this minus 12b minus 12b. So in that case, we're going to have 8b squared minus 12b minus 12b plus what? 18 equal to what? 0. So we can see that we have turned 3 terms to what? To 4 terms. So we can then factorize now. So we're going to factorize the first two. So what is common? The highest common factor between 8b squared and minus 12b is what? 4 is the number and the b. So when you divide 8b squared by 4b, so b cancels the square. 4 here and 4 here, so that's going to be 2b minus, when you divide this one by 12, that gives us 3 by 4b rather. So 12 divided by 4 gives 3. B cancels b, that means 3. Minus what is common here is 6 can go. Yes, 6 can go in both of them. That is going to be 6, right? So when you divide this one by minus 6, it will give us what? 2b. Then when you divide this one by minus 6, it will give us what? Minus 3. You notice that what we have in the brackets are the same. So the brackets here and the brackets here are the same. So in that case, so they are correct. So we're going to have 2b minus 3. We pick one of these, we factor it out. Then we combine the what? The out. So that's going to be 4b minus what? 6. Everything equals to what? Equals to 0. So from here now, we can proceed further to equate this to 0. So this is going to give us 2b minus 3 equal to 0, or 4b minus 6 equal to what? 0. I hope I'm making sense if I'm not too fast. So this is going to be 2b equals to 3, or 4b equal to what? 6. So we divide both sides by 2, divide both sides by 2, divide both sides by 4 by 4. So therefore b equals to what? 3 over 2, or b equals to what? This here 2, this here what? 3. That is 3 all over 2 as well. So that means b equals to 1 over 1 all over 2. I hope this is very well clear. Right. So that is that on this question number 4. So let's look at another question before we continue. Example 5, we are asked to solve this. So how do we solve this? So you notice this involves fraction. So and there's no problem with that. So what we're going to do that, we're going to make it, we don't want to remove the fractions. We want to remove what? The fractions. So So the first thing we're going to do is, what is the denominator? Denominator we have here is 2, what we have here is 2, and what we have here is 1. So what's the LCM? Because this one is sometimes raised by 1. So what's the LCM of 2 and 1 is 2. So what we're going to do, multiply through by what? By 2. So that means we're saying that minus 3 over 2 y squared times 2 equals to 1 over 2y times 2 minus 1 times what? Times 2. So these two we cancel these two. These two we cancel these two. So what do we have left here? So we have minus 3y squared equals to, what we have left here is what? Y. Then this one is all minus 2. So we can rearrange this now. So this is minus. We want to make it plus. Let it come here. So this will become 0 equals, so we are removing this one. 0 equals 3y squared. So this is plus y, then minus 2. So we can write this one to be 3y squared plus y minus 2 equals to 0. So that's turned to what? Quadratic equation. So in that means, so you guys, this has 3 terms. So what we're going to do here, we're going to make it 4 terms. So what we're going to do, we multiply this by this, and this gives us minus 6y squared. So we are looking for two numbers multiplied together to give us minus 6, and when we add them together, we get 1, because this is 1. So in that case, that's going to be 3 minus 3, or we can have 3 times 2 will give us 6. So but what we have here is minus. So if we put minus here, minus 3 plus 2 will give us minus 1, and this is plus. So that means 3 minus 2 will work, which will give us 1. So in that case, we are going to make use of this. So put y. So that means we have 3y squared plus 3y minus 2y minus 2 equal to 0. So factorize this. So this will give us, what is common is 3y. I hope I'm not too fast. So when you divide this one by 3y, we have what? Y left plus 1 minus, what is common is what? 2, right? So this 1 minus times minus is what? Plus 1 equals 0. How this is clear? So from here now we can then have y plus 1 into bracket, then 3y minus 2 equals to 0. So from here we can equate y plus 1 equals to 0, or 3y minus 2 equals to 0. So from here this is y equals to minus 1, and this one is 3y equals to 2. Therefore y equals to 2 all over 3. How this is very clear, right? So that is that. That means value of y equals to minus 1 or 2 all over 3. So that is that on this one. So we look at one more example before we end this video. Okay, this is the last example we have here. So when looking at this example, how are you going to solve this? It's very simple. So you can see all of them are into 1 decimal places, and that is 10 to the nearest 10th. So in that case, so we can change it to whole number, change everything to whole number. Even if they are of different number places, decimal places, you can still do it. So because they are into 1 dp, you multiply each of them by 10, so that you change it to whole number. I hope I'm making sense. So if what we have there is, for example, you have 0.01 here. So for you to change this one to whole number is what? You multiply by what? 100. So if this one is 1.2, you also multiply this one by 100. So you multiply through by the same value, by the same quantity. So in that case, multiply through by what? By 10. So this will give us 1x squared. So that is x squared, right? Minus, when you multiply this one by 10, to give us what? 12x. Then plus, when this gives us 35 equal to what? 0. How this is very clear. So the next stage is now to factorize this. So this is 35 that we have there. So now we're looking for two numbers here with 5 times 7. So when we add these two together, 5 plus 7, we give us this 12. So which means we have, this is minus 12. This has to be minus. And when you multiply them, you give them what? Plus 35. So that means we have x squared minus 5x minus 7x plus 35 equal to 0. So we factorize this. What is common here is x. The highest common factor is x into x minus 5, right? So what is common is minus 7 into what? X minus what? 5. 35 divided by minus 7 equals minus 5. So you can see we have the same thing in brackets. So that means we are going to have x minus 5 is equal to 0, x minus 5, and what? X minus 7. Everything equals to 0. Is that right? So from here now, we can then equate x minus 5 equal to 0 or x minus 7 equal to 0. Is that clear? So this means x equals to 5 or x equals to 7. Therefore, x equals to 5 or 7. So that is that on this. I hope this is very clear. So you can see quadratic equation is very simple. So in our next video, subsequent video, we'll be looking at other methods of solving quadratic equation, because there are some that are not factorizable like this. So you have to make use of either use almighty formula or you make use of completing the square formula. But in some examination, they will be specific on which one to use. They will say use completing the square method to solve this. Use formula method to solve this. Exactly. So that's what we're going to look at in our next class. So if you are new to this channel, don't forget to what subscribe so that anytime I produce the videos like this, you'll be the first to get notification of it and benefit from it. And as well, if you find this video useful and helpful, don't forget to give us a very big one, thumb up, and you can share the video with your loved one and invite them to the channel. So this is where we're going to stop. So bye for now. Thanks for watching.